Welcome everybody to Solomon. In this video we are going to be breaking down the Gorod Krovi trailer that we got today, and we're going to be going down to the deep details. So if this is a pretty long video, I do apologize, but you guys probably knew that coming in. So without further delay, let's get right into this. So at the start of this trailer, we actually get this dragon symbol, but right after that, we see these little children, just these statued little children. What this is probably Treyarch's take on the Barmaly fountain. Then they were very popular during World War II in the Soviet Union. Not that important, but I did feel that these actually had like influence on Treyarch had their own influence on themselves because they kind of look like the children. I think that's where the influence came from. They might be the children that we've been talking about this whole time. But right after that, we got this area right here, and actually if you look on this sign, it actually says Belinsky Square, and also there's a little there's a giant robot in the background that looks destroyed. But the weird thing is why it's called Belinsky Square, because Belinsky is Nikolai's last name. So I don't know, like I'm not too sure what they're doing with that, but maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. Either way, let's move on. So next we got this room that we had an image of yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about it that much because I made a whole other separate video on this, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll have a link down in the description. But next we have Nikolai actually standing looking over this giant area, and look at this area, it's humongous. And if this is all playable area plus all the other areas we see inside this trailer, this map looks absolutely huge. I would love a huge map that is actually fun to play in, because most big maps are not really that fun to play in, so hopefully this one's cool. Right after this we see Richthofen and Nikolai running by, but one thing I want to point out is that you can see a robot's arm in the background. Nothing special. I will talk about these robots more in a little bit, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Then we actually get this animation of these barricades closing, and I'm not too sure what exactly that is, if it's actually a new barricade system, but I don't think that's actually the case. Maybe it's an upgrade, maybe something like that. But go ahead and tell me what you guys think about it down in the comments. But right after this, we get to see some zombies, and oh my gosh, they have some red eyes. And where is the only other map that we've had zombies with red eyes in? Yes, it is Mob of the Dead. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into explain why they have red eyes, but one idea is that we actually return to the Mob of the Dead universe, but again, that's for a separate video, that whole theory. But either way, that's just want to kind of sum up that. Also, right as this image disappears, you can actually see a dragon in the background. So it's our first look at a dragon inside this trailer, but of course we'll get a better one later on. Next we get an overlook of another large area. So if you guys remember, I was talking about how there's a large area over there, and plus this one, this map looks huge. But one thing I want to point out is how big this map is, and on top of that is that we can see this minigun, a mounted minigun, which we haven't ever seen, or I don't believe we've ever seen. Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've ever actually seen a mounted minigun that we could control inside zombies. I know we had set tripod or miniguns, but nothing like this. After that, we get a different angle of the same thing, but we can actually see seemingly the boss zombie, and we're not going to talk too much about him. We'll get a better angle about him in a little bit, and we'll talk about him more in depth there. But one thing you can see is that he has a sickle on his hand, so that's pretty cool, because a sickle is actually, if you guys are unaware, you can actually buy that, and it would take the place of the Bowie knife in Black Ops 1, I believe. But it'd be cool if we actually get this Bowie knife or the sickle too. But both us and them, that would be kind of disappointing if they only got it and we didn't. But right after this, we see some zombies running at us, but the main thing I want to point out is a quick revive in the background. So I'm thinking maybe this area is close to spawn, because quick revive is normally close to spawn, but not all the time. But go ahead and tell me what you guys think about that. You guys, or is it going to have a random perk spawn area? What is exactly happening around here? I really feel, since this is going to be a big map, that this is probably going to be next to spawn or something like that. Next we get overlook of the same area we got a while ago, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. But right after that, we get this image, and there's a lot of things to point out here. I'm not too sure what this building is. Really, it has the Russian or the Soviet Union star thing on it, but the main thing I want to look at right for now is this collapsed robot in the background. So people were saying that these robots inside this thing look like the ones from Origins, and that's true, but they aren't the same ones, because if you zoom up on them, like I'll do for you guys right here, if you guys actually look on the chest, it doesn't have the Iron Cross. It actually has a star, which again relates to the Soviet Union, or Russia during the World War area. Also, you can see the little glass thing or the glow of his eyes, and it's actually not yellow but red, which is kind of funny because the zombie's eyes switched from yellow to red, and so did the robots, but I don't think that has any real connection or anything like that. But right after this, we see something pretty interesting. So we see Nikolai, Richtofen, and Dempsey running through, and the one I want you to pay attention to is Dempsey. Also, there's a trap before I forget to mention that. There is a trap right there, but the main thing, look at Dempsey as he's running by. If you guys look at his leg, you can actually see some blood vials. So for people who doubted that their blood vials, that we're going to continue having them past the Tsumonoshima Easter egg, if there were any, but if anybody did doubt it, then there it is right there for proof. Right after this, we see this really cool looking zombie thing. I'm not too sure what it is. It looks like a zombie, except more corroded, because he does look like a skeleton, but he still has some flesh on him, so he is lacking all of his intestines and everything. You can also see right through his bones, but he's not exactly a skeleton, but he's not exactly a full-fledged zombie, so he looks really cool. But one thing to point out is that you can actually see his eyes are blue compared to all the other ones that are red, so I'm not too sure what's happening there. Of course, I can make a theory about that in a separate video if you guys want to subscribe for that, but I'm talking too far ahead. But either way, as you guys can see, a really cool looking zombie. He also looks like he has some electric charge around him. Maybe zombies can turn into this or something like that, but either way, it looks really cool. Next, we just see some random clips of random areas just using gobblegums, because we didn't know gobblegums were going to stay inside zombies any longer, but guess what they are. We're just kidding. Anyways, we get our first full image of a dragon, which is absolutely sick. And this dragon looks pretty cool, and he starts breathing fire, and of course these aren't in the same areas as you can tell from the lighting, but as you guys can see, he actually starts, or another dragon could be breathing down fire right here, and it looks like he's breathing fire on the zombies, but it actually looks like it's not actually killing the zombies to me. It could be, and I just could be mistaken, but if it is killing them, if this is a trap, how would you exactly activate this if it is a dragon? Not too sure how all of that's going to work, but go ahead and tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Now we get our better view on our boss zombie, and he absolutely looks like a boss. So he does have the sickle on one hand, but he turns actually towards us, and he shoots this kind of like energy beam at us, or I'm not sure if it's a beam or a push or something like that. Hopefully it's on a projectile, because those are so annoying. I hate when they have projectiles. That's either way, he looks like an absolute boss. Going to screenshot that right now, in fact. But either way, it looks pretty cool. Again, we have our characters running through some areas, and we also see a dragon in the background, which is all cool. Everybody likes to see a couple dragons. Next, we see these really cool new things we've never seen before, but to me, I think they're maybe like reskinned parasites from Shadows of Evil, but they do look pretty cool, and it looks like they're going to evade your shots, which is kind of annoying. But either way, they are made by Group 935, as you guys can see 935 on the side of them, and the Iron Cross on in the front of them. But right after this, we see our new zombie shield, and this thing absolutely looks like the best shield Treyarch has ever designed, because holy crap, it has a dragon shape on it and everything. But also it has a projectile for its melee or something like that. Maybe they swapped out the boost like slide or whatever that's called. Not boost slide, it's like the boost jump when you like slide at a zombie when you're boosting at it, I guess. But either way, maybe they swapped that out with this green projectile. At least it looks like a projectile to me. But as you guys can see, the front right here, it looks all pretty cool. It's a pretty boss looking thing right there. After this, there is something on the fist I'll talk about in a second, but one thing I want to point out, you can see Wonder Fizz right there on the side. I'll freeze it for you guys can see it. But right after this, you can see us using the new special weapon. So the special weapon, as you guys will be able to see on screen, is very, very similar to what I would say maybe Ripper or Spectre's weapon from multiplayer, and they're just reusing it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as powerful as the Skull Non-Stop Way. That thing was so cool. It's probably the coolest special weapon we've ever got, but this one looks pretty cool in itself either way. Hopefully, it's more powerful than it actually looks right here. Maybe you can just turn around and take out a whole train like that. Right after this, I'll freeze it right here for you guys. As you guys see, you can see Quick Revive at the top, and you can actually see Supply Depot for the sign right there. Maybe something else in the middle of the screen. I'm not too sure though, but it's pretty interesting. After this, we actually get a look at a new trap we're getting. And it looks like a large version of a trample scene from Die Rise, and it looks pretty cool, but it's very large, and as you guys can see, it's going to be activated like a normal trap, but I don't know, maybe it's going to be good. I never use traps unless I'm on really high rounds, but go ahead and tell me what you guys think about it. Next, we actually see the Shadow Night Claws being used inside zombies, so they're actually coming to zombies. Hopefully they don't just stay inside this map, but are actually into all maps. I don't think that happened. They added in other guns into Setsubo no Shima, but but they didn't actually spread to the other maps, which was annoying. But as these guys can see, these crossbows are actually going to be explosives, and they're going to be dual wielding. I'm pretty sure they'll always be dual wielding, but as you guys can see, they're going to be explosive, and these are not upgraded. Well, they don't at least look upgraded, so I think they're always going to be explosives. Hopefully they're really cool, like the crossbows that we had in the past, because they had a monkey bomb effect too, where the zombies would run at the explosion and they go get blown up by it or whatever would happen. But after this, we have this drill thing falling from the sky, and it looks pretty cool, but we'll talk about it in just a second, because right before it hits the ground, it gives us this angle. As you guys can see in the background, we see a dead dragon. There was one earlier, but I think I forgot to mention it, but as you guys can see right behind it, there is a dead dragon right there, so it looks pretty cool. I guess it looks cool. Dead dragons look cool now. Okay, whatever. I'm not too sure. But anyways, looking back at this drill thing, we're not too sure what it is exactly. Either way, it looks like we're going to have to actually protect this thing. As you guys can see, the zombies, once it lands, the zombies start attacking it, and of course the character or the players start shooting the zombies. But also it looks like this drop right here, this drill drop, actually shocks the zombies too. So I'm not too sure exactly what this thing is exactly. But one thing I want to take note of, if you guys actually look at the weapons Dempsey is using, so he's using these dual wielding things. So at first I thought it was just a ray gun, but I went and looked at it again. He's actually looks like he's using a ray gun and some other weapon. I'm not too sure what it is exactly. Maybe ray gun Mark III, something like that, but it looks like it's going to be one-handed. There's going to be one ray gun, the other one's going to be some other type of weapon. I'm not too sure. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think, or am I making a mistake or something like that. But right after this, we get introduced to our new weapons that are going to be added into this, besides the other ones I already mentioned. But the last of them, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last of them that we can see, and we're going to get a FFAR, this new ray gun looking thing. I'm not too sure if it's going to be a ray gun Mark III. I'm pretty sure it is actually, but it could also be the wonder weapon of this map. Could be either one. I'd be happy with either of them. But at the end, we actually get the PPsh. Oh my gosh, this thing was teased in Dreisedrakis so long ago, and we're finally getting it. If only one of these new weapons could be spread through the other zombie maps, this one had to be it. It really does. I would love to use this PPsh on any other map. This was the most overpowered weapon in World at War Zombies. Well, maybe not the most, but it was pretty overpowered, and it's a really good gun. Next, we see our characters actually on a dragon. Surprise, surprise. Actually, everyone knew this, but we're going to be able to actually ride them. I'll freeze on a frame for you guys to actually see a good image of them when they're actually on it. So as you guys can see, they're actually going to ride these dragons. But one thing to take note of, this actually doesn't look as it looks too good to be an in-game thing, people were saying. I'm pretty sure this is going to be an intro cutscene for the map. Hopefully it's going to be cool, because I really didn't like Dreisedrakis' intro cutscene. That was dumb, but now as we get a cinematic intro cutscene, it looks pretty cool, and it looks like, hopefully it's going to be the cutscene. But you guys can see the mystery box in the background, so maybe it is in-game, so I'm not too sure, because normally in intro cutscenes, we don't get the mystery box right there, but people are saying maybe this is how we actually fly into the map or something like that. But again, go ahead and tell me what you guys think. So, and it finally ends off with the dragon completely burning this place up. So, hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you guys did, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for more DLC 3 or Gorod Krovi gameplay, or any news about it before it comes out, well, when it does come out, gameplay and all the storyline, Easter eggs, and anything like that, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.